Hey grade 8s, happy Monday. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. You got to enjoy yourself and have hopefully a nice, peaceful, and restful time. Today we are continuing on with probability and we're going into some kind of word problems. And then Wednesday we should be going into something called probability trees. But for now we're just doing our review and then our word problems. So we're just going to jump right in it. All right, so on Friday, you would have gotten a worksheet where you had to do a tally, you had to do your experimental and your theoretical probability. So you're given a spinner and you were supposed to guess, like, what's the likelihood of landing on blue? And then you actually spin the spinner like 32 times to figure out how many times you actually land on blue. So obviously that was different for everyone. Some people got maybe like 30 on blue, maybe some people got like 15. It can all vary. So right now the theoretical probability is a spinner like this. How many times should I land on blue? Well, out of 8 slices, only 2 are blue. So therefore 2 out of 8 spins should land on blue. If I'm talking about that in terms of out of 32, I basically will do, I times both of these numbers by 4 to get to 32. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 8 times 4 is 32. So therefore, out of 32 tries, 8 of them should land on blue. So if I spun the spinner 32 times, technically 8 of them should land on blue. But maybe in actuality, you got 11 landed on blue. Or maybe 12 did, or 3 did, or it could be any number of possibilities. So that is our theoretical versus experimental. Theoretical is what it should happen. Experimental is what it actually did do. So now let's talk about red. Red has 4 sections out of the 8 that are red. Therefore, out of 32, if I times both of these by 4, therefore 16 should land on red. Maybe when you actually did the experiment though, you got 20 that landed on red out of 32. Remember last week when I did that spinner on another page and I spun it 8 times, and instead of 4 of them landing on the 8 spins, I got 6 that landed on red in the 8 spins. So that is our theoretical versus experimental. Now today we're doing a little bit of word problems. So we've been sort of doing them up until now. I've been talking about them. Right now is just, we're just going a little bit of a deeper dive into it. So let's say Sarah was trying to pick a partner for a project and all these people here volunteered. Okay, so we're talking about the likelihood of Sarah picking one of these people. So if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everyone has, and let's say she just wrote down their names on a slip of paper and put them in a hat. 1 out of 5, everyone has a 1 out of 5 chance of getting their name picked because there's 1 of them and 5 people altogether. What about the likelihood of Sarah picking a boy? If Sarah's picking a boy to be her partner, we have, who are our boys? We have Justin, Sean, and Peter. Those are 3 boys. So she has 3 out of how many? 5 altogether chances of picking a boy. How about a girl? How many girls do we have? We have 1, 2 girls. So if she picked a name out of a hat, 2 out of 5 chances would be a girl. Obviously, if we did the actual experiment of picking the names out of a hat, it would be very different. But today we're just talking about the theoretical. So therefore, out of those 5 people, 3 out of 5, 3 people, she has a 3 in 5 chance of picking a boy, and then a 2 in 5 chance of picking a girl. Right? Let's talk about some other number problems, or some other word problems. Let's say we have, let's say we have a problem like we have a dice, right? And I'm playing a game with a friend of mine where if I land on 4 and below, I win a point. And if he lands on anything above 4, so anything above 4, which means it's 5 or 6, they win a point. Is this game fair? So first of all, we have to look at what are my winning numbers. I can land on anything that's 4 or under. So that includes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because if I land on 4, I still get the point. My friends can only get a point if they land on 5 or 6. Is this game fair? No, because each number on a die has an equal chance of being rolled. So, I have 4 chances out of how many sides are on a die? 6. To get a number that would give me a point. Whereas my friend only has 2 numbers out of the entire 6 where they could win a point. So this game wouldn't be fair because I'd be much more likely to win than they would. So in this case, no, this game is not fair. What would I have to do to make this game fair? I'd have to switch the numbers around. Maybe there's different ways I can make this. Maybe if I land on an odd number, I win. And if they land on an even number, they could win. Because how many odd numbers are on a dice? We have 1, 3, and 5 are odd numbers. Even numbers are 2, 4, and 6. That would make it equal because we each have 3 possibilities. Another one is if I land on 3 or below, so I have 1, 2, or 3, and if they land on 4 and above, they have 4, 5, and 6. So this would make the game way more, this would make the game way more fair. So that's what you're going to be doing today, is you're going to have word problems based off of these possibilities, and you're going to be doing, you're going to be discussing how, if a game is fair or not, or what is the likelihood of landing on a probability or not. So this is something that I imagine you guys should be rocking, and it shouldn't be too much trouble, just because of how much time we spent on probability so far. But again, let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. And on Wednesday, we're going to be going into our next part of probability. But for now, this is what you're going to have today. Again, let me know if you have questions. I hope you guys have an amazing couple days. And I look forward to talking to you guys again on Wednesday.